Action. So today we're going to be going over how to set up your scanner and going through a full scan. So first thing you want to do is take it out of the box here. We're doing the wired scanner to this AS260. You want to be sure to grab your power cord. We're going to get this all plugged in. So you're going to take your USB, plug it into your laptop here. Now, we'll get our scanner set up. Now, you're going to want to take off your protective cap and you want to use one of your scanner tips. This one is Aaron's. So, we'll go ahead and pop this on. You take your little holder. We'll set it aside for right now. Now, what you want to do is you're going to want to open up your software. We're going to use AS Connect right here. So we're going to open that up. Now we get that open, we're going to go into our cases. In here, we're going to want to select New Case. So we'll be practicing on Aaron. And as soon as you make your case name, it's going to auto-populate generate. So up here on the top right, we don't need to worry about anything else at the moment. We're going to hit scan at the top right. Once we hit that, this is going to open up what's called Scan Pro. This is our scanning software. When we take our scanner off the charging base here, we can see light is always on. That does not mean it's scanning. However, when I press this button at the top, it begins to scan. Press it again to stop it. No box enters. So today, we're going to be scanning Aaron. We're going to start with the lower. So all we got to do here, click the little M button. We can see the top of the laptop right up there on our lower icon. However, if you don't scan the proper upper or lower, you can always flip it in the software as well. So you don't have to worry too much about that. So we're going to go ahead and scan. So what you want to do is we want to start in the posterior on the occlusal surface. So we're going to start back here. Far back into the occlusal surface. We're going to work our way all the way around. So once we get to full posterior, we're going to start to work our way buccally. And then we're going to work our way lingually. We're going to stop our scan. We're going to see what information we have here. So now at this point, these specs here, these green specs are telling me we need to go back and hit. So we can see we have some interproximal spaces, mainly on the lingual side, and then here on the facial of the anterior, of the lower incisor. So all we're going to do, we're just going to go back in, we see our spots, and we're going to touch up. So why don't you open up for me, Aaron? So again, I remembered mainly on the lingual surface of the posterior. Make sure we hit all those interproximal spaces. And then we're going to come up here to the anterior. And then make sure we want to try and get buccally. So that facial side. So that should be pretty good. And what we can see here, we've filled in just about all the gaps there. We have a couple little smaller interproximal spaces, but we're perfectly good. So now we can see our 3D rendering here, really good scan. We don't need to cut anything out. Of course, if we were going to be doing sort of space maintain or anything else, we might want to go touch up on those spaces again just for the greens. But right now, just for records, we're good to go. So, only difference would be, we're just going to do the lower today. If you wanted to, you would just click over into the upper, do the exact same thing on the upper, and then full bite, once you have the upper and the lower, you'll just scan both sides for your full bite. However, we're just going to do the lower today. And again, the main point is you want to start on the occlusal surface in the posterior, work your way all the way around, work buccally, lingually, and then that should be your whole scan. So now we're going to click up here when we're done with our scan on the Refine tab. It's telling us we have not captured the upper, that's fine. So once we hit Refine, what this is doing is this is turning the scan from a raw format down to an STL format. So it's really condensing that scan. It's kind of talking to itself. And now we can see, boom, it's refined. And now at this point, we're finished. What we can go ahead and do is we can click finish up here at the top right. And then now we have our file. We are finished. We now have Aaron's lower jaw scanned in here, and we can do with it as we please. And that is your whole start to finish, setting up your scanner, getting a scan, finishing your case as quickly as that.